my children. Hope you all fine at home. Stay home, stay safe and study at home. In this video session, we are going to see Unit 16, Plant and Animal Hormone. In the Plant and Animal Hormone, we are going to see the definition of the plant hormone, types of plant hormone, how the plants exhibits a growth due to this plant hormone. And the animal hormone, we are going to see the endocrine gland, thyroid, pancreas and thymus gland. This lesson is more interesting lesson.
So let's move on to
the video session.
Hello children, Unit 16, Plant and Animal Hormone. In this lesson, we are going to see the different types of plant hormone and various endocrine in a human body. And location, structure of endocrine, difference between the exocrine and endocrine, the specific sites of action and its function, and disorder which has decreased or increased the hormone secretion. Introduction. The word hormone is derived from one Greek word. Hormone means excite. So the function of control and coordination in plants is performed by chemical substances produced by the plant. So that is called as the plant hormone. In several cells are capable of producing these hormones. In animals, endocrine gland in vertebrate animal possesses a communication system of physiological and metabolic function by chemical integration. The endocrine system acts through the chemical messengers as known as the hormone. These are the plant hormone and animal hormones. Now we are going to learn about the plant hormone. Plant hormone is the organic molecules produced at a low concentration, and it also controls the morphological, physiological and biological responses. Types of plant hormone. They have major 5 types. They are auxin, cytokinesis, librensis, abscisic acid. Last one is ethylene. Among all these plant hormone, first 3 auxin, cytokinin, gibberellin, these 3 hormones which promotes the plant growth, while abscisic acid and ethylene is prevent a plant growth or to inhibit a plant growth. Auxin. Auxin means to grow. He is the first scientist first discovered the auxin. The term auxin was introduced by Cole and Hagon Smith in 1931. Auxin was produced at the tip of the and the roots. Charles Darwin in 1880 observed the unilateral growth and curvature of canny grass. This influenced later by the auxin by Wendt. So in the right hand side you have the Wendt experiment. First, Wendt 1903 to 1990, a Dutch biologist demonstrated the extensions and effects of auxin in plants. He did a serious experiment in Avenum cleopetals. In this experiment, he removed the tip of the Avenum cleopetals. He cut the tip, did not grow, indicating the tip producing something essential for the growth. Second experiment, that is B, he placed the agar blocks on decapsitized cleopetal tips. In cleopetal tips, not show any response. So he's moved to the third experiment. He detached the cleopetal tips on agar blocks. After an hour, he discarded the tip and placed this agar block and decapsitized the cleopetal. It grew straight up, indicating that some special diffused from cut cleopetal tips into agar blocks. From this experiment, he concluded that a tip of cleopetals was responsible for the growth. So he named for that hormone is called as a auxin. So that is a meaning to grow. Auxin are classified into two types. One is natural auxin, second one is synthetic auxin. Natural auxin, while the name itself you can able to recognize, it can be produced by the plant. So it is called as a natural auxin. Example, Endoline 3 acetic acid. Synthetic auxin, it is artificially synthesized auxin. The properties like auxins are called as a synthetic auxin. Example, 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. Physiological effects of auxin. Auxin brings a variety of physiological effects in a different part of the plant body. We will have a 5 subdivision in a physiological effects. First, elongation of the stem and colipetile, which makes the stem to grow. Second one is induce root formation. So it inhibit a higher concentration. The third one, apical dominance. Auxin produced by apical buds suppress the growth of lateral buds. Seedless fruits without fertilization are induced by the external application of auxin. For example, watermelon, grape, lime. The last fifth one is a abscission layer. Auxin prevent the formation of abscission layer. In phenyl acetic acid and indole 3 acetonitrile are a natural auxin. In indole 3 butyric acid, indole 3 propionic acid, alpha naphthalene acetic acid, 2,4,5 trichlorophenoxyacetic acid are some of the examples of synthetic auxins. First, we learnt about auxin. The second one is cytokinase. The cytokinase means cell division. So, in plant hormone that promotes the cell division, that is cytokinase in a plant cell. It was first discovered by herring fish sperm. Genitin was a cytokinase isolated from zeapies, and cytokinase is found in liquid endosperm of coconut. Physiological effects of cytokinase. Cytokinin induce cell division in the presence of auxin, and it is also the causes the large enlargement of the cell. In both, auxin and cytokinases are essential for the new organs from callus in the tissue culture. Cytokinase promotes the growth of lateral buds. Even apical bud is present. The last one is application of cytokinin delays the process of aging in plants. So this is called as a Richman-Lang effect. Gibberellins. It's a most abundantly found in all the plant hormones. Kurosawa in 1926 observed Benagai's disease or foolish seedling disease in rice crops. This internodal elongation in rice which causes the fungus Gelbera fuciculae. These active substances are identified by the gibberellic acid. Now we are going to see the physiological effect of gibberellins. Application of gibberellins on plants stimulates extraordinary elongation of the internodes. Well, you see the corn and pea, it will be having the extraordinary elongation in the internodes. Treatment of a rosy plant with the gibberellin induce sudden short or a shoot elongation followed by flowering. This method is called as a bolting. Gibberellins promotes the protection of a male flowers in monoecious plants. Gibberellins break dormancy of potato tumors. The last one is, which are efficient than auxin, induce the formation of a seedless fruit. Parthenocrapic fruit, that is a development of fruit without fertilizations. Example is tomato. So we already seen about the auxin. cytokinins, and gibberellins. The fourth hormone is abscisic acid, ABA. We will have a short note ABA. It is a growth inhibitor which regulates the abscission and dormancy. It increases the tolerance of the plants and various kinds of stress. So it is also called as a stress hormone. We used to see only the human being will have the stress, even though the plants will have the stress. So it is called as a stress hormone. So abscisic acid is called as a stress hormone. It is found in the chloroplast of the plants. Physiological effects of abscisic acid. So it will separation of leaves, flowers, fruits from the branch. During the water stress trough condition, ABA causes the stomatal closure. So ABA promotes a senescence in leaf by causing a loss of chlorophyll. ABA introduces a bud dormancy towards approach of winter in trees like birch. So ABA is a powerful inhibitor of lateral bud growth in tomato. Ethylene, it is a last hormone, gaseous plant hormone. It is also called as a growth inhibitor, and it is mainly concerned with the maturation and ripening of fruits. Maximum synthesis of ethylene is during the ripening of fruits like apple, banana, mango, melons are like that. So physiological effects of ethylene are: first, it promotes the ripening of fruits. Second, it exhibits an elongation of stem. Third one, ethylene adds the sense of the smell and flower. Ethylene stimulates the formation of abscission zones in leaves, flowers and fruits, which leads the premature shedding. And ethylene breaks the dormancy of bud, seeds and storage organs. Till that the plant hormone is over, now we are going to see about the animal hormone, human endocrine gland. In human endocrine gland possesses a vestigial communication system to coordinate the biological functions. In exocrine and endocrine glands are the two types of glands in animals. Exocrine gland, which is found in the different regions of the body of animal as well as human being. These glands are called as the ductless glands. Their secretions are called as hormones, which are produced in minute quantities, and secretion diffuse into the bloodstream and carried into a distant part of the body. They act on the specific organ, which refers to a target organ. So this is a human endocrine gland. The gland will be having two types, exocrine as well as endocrine. The branch of biology which deals with the study of exocrine gland and physiology is known as the endocrinology. Thomson Addison. He is a father of endocrinology. English physiologist W. M. Balaises and E. H. Starlin introduced this term hormone in 1909. They first discovered the hormone serotonin. So exocrine gland which have the specific ducts and they carry their secretions like a salivary gland, mammary gland and sweat gland. So endocrine gland in humans and other vertebrates are, there are so many glands are there. One is pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal gland, gonads and thymus gland. So now we are going to see the detailed explanation of these glands. Pituitary gland.
or it is otherwise called as a hypophysis. It is in a pea-shaped packed mass of cell located in the base of midbrain attached with hypothalamus by the pituitary stalk. So another example only I gave here. It is anatomically composed in a two lobes. Different function also it performs. An anterior lobe and posterior lobe. The intermediate lobe is non-extant in human. Pituitary gland is otherwise called as a master gland. Why it is called as master gland? Pituitary gland forms a major endocrine gland in most vertebrates and it is used to control and regulates other exocrine gland. So, it is called as a master gland. Hormones excreted by the anterior lobe. It is called as a adenohypophysis. In anterior pituitary is composed by different types of cells and secretes a hormone which stimulates the protection of hormone by the other endocrine glands. The hormones excreted by the anterior pituitary are the first one growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone and gonadotrophic hormone. The last one is prolactin hormone. Growth hormone GH. It promotes the development and enlargement of all the tissues of the body which stimulates the growth of the muscles, cartilage and long bones, and it also controls the cell metabolism. So now we are going to see the three improper secretion of these hormones which leads this following conditions are. The first one is dwarfism, gigantism, acromegaly. Dwarfism and gigantism. Dwarfism. It causes a decrease in secretion of the growth in hormone in children and which delay the skeleton formation and mental disability. When a short boy is there, no, that is called as a dwarfism. Hormone less secretion, for improper secretion it will occurs the dwarfism stage. The next tall man is gigantism. Oversecretion of a growth hormone which leads to the gigantism in children and overgrowth of all the body's tissues and organ. Individual attain abnormal increase in height like this. You can view this picture. The third one is acromegaly. It's excess secretion of a growth hormone in adult which may leads the abnormal enlargements of a head, face, hand and feet. You can able to see the normal hand as well as infected. So it will have the extreme enlargement of head also. I gave the example in hand. The second one is thyroid stimulating hormone TSH. And these hormones will control the growth of the thyroid gland which is in our body. So which is also concentrated or coordinates its activity and hormone secretion. The third one is adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH. It stimulates the adrenal cortex of adrenal gland for the protection of hormones and it also influences the protein synthesis in the adrenal cortex. The fourth one is gonadotrophic hormone GTH. These hormones are the follicle stimulating hormone which is essential for the normal development of the gonads. Follicle stimulating hormone is FSH. In male, it stimulates the germinal epithelial testis in the formation of sperms. In female, it initiates the growth of ovarian fossils and development in the ovary. So, this is the FSH. Luteinizing hormone LH. This in male, its leading cells of testis secretes male sex hormone testosterone.
In female, it causes ovulation, that is rupture and the matured graphene follicle. It's responsible for the development of the corpus luteum and protection of the female sex hormones like estrogen and postrogen. Here we are going to see is a prolactin, PRL. It is called as a lactogenic hormone. These hormones always initiate the development of mammary gland during pregnancy, which feeds to our kids, isn't it? So, and it stimulates the production of milk after the childbirth. Hormones secreted by the posterior lobes of pituitary. That is, hormones secreted by the posterior pituitary are vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. The second one is oxytocin. First one is vasopressin. In kidney tubules is increase a reabsorption of water. It reduces the loss of water through urine. Deficiency of ADH is reduce the reabsorption of water, which deficiency disorder which leads to a diabetes. Oxytocins. It helps the concentration of the smooth muscles of uterus in the time of childbirth and milk secretion from the mammary gland after the childbirth. This is fully goes to the woman. Oxytocin. Melatonin. It is a hormone produced by the pineal gland and it is also called as a time messenger. It signals the nighttime information throughout the body. Exposure to light at night, especially a short wavelength light, can decrease melatonin protection, interpreting sleep. Suppression of melatonin will be implicated in sleep disturbance related metabolic disorders. So, this is a more to know factor. So, note it down, children. Next hormone is thyroid hormone. It is located in our neck region. It is composed the two distinct lobes lying one on either side of trachea. The two lobes are connected by the means of narrow band of tissue. It is also known as the isthmus. This gland is composed by the granular fossils lined by the cuboidal epithelium. The fossils are filled with a colloid material called as a thyroglobulin. In amino acid, trizonin and iodine are involved in the formation of thyroid hormone. These hormones are secreted by the thyroid gland as a triiodothyronin, that is 3,3. Next, second one is tetraiodothyronin, that is T4, T3 and T4. These are the two hormones secreted by the thyroid gland. Functions of thyroid hormone. The first one is basal metabolic rate. Did you hear the word BMR? It is the protection of energy by maintaining in the body, that is called as a BMR. And it also helps to maintain the normal body temperature. Third one, which influences the activity of the central nervous system. It controls the growth of the body and bone formation. Essential for the normal physical, mental and personality development also. So, it is also called as the personality hormone, which also regulates the cell metabolism. So, these are the functions of thyroid hormones. Edward C. Kendall. In 1914, first crystallized thyroxine hormone. He is the one first discovered the thyroxine hormone. Charles Harrington and George Bager identified the molecular structure of thyroxine in 1927. Thyroxine glands requires 120 μg of iodine every day for the protection of thyroxine. Thyroid dysfunction. When the thyroid gland fails to secrete the normal level of hormone, the condition of thyroid dysfunction leads. Hypothyroidism. It is caused due to the decreased secretion of the thyroid hormone. The abnormal condition which leads to the goitre. You can able to see the picture, the abnormal condition, inadequate supply of iodine in your diet. So, add more iodine substance in your food. This commonly prevalent in Himalayan regions because they will be having the low level of iodine content in the soil too. So, this leads the enlargement of thyroid gland which protrudes a marked swelling in the neck region. So, this disease is named as a goitre, which is the deficiency of iodine. Seronetism. It is due to the decreased secretion of the thyroid hormone in children. It also affects the stunned growth, mental defect, lack of skeleton development and deformed bones, and these are called as cretins. Myxodermina, it's a deficiency of again the thyroid hormone in adult. It's a mentally sluggish, increase the body weight, puffiness in the face, hand and abdomen's appearances. You can able to see the picture. It's increases of face, eyes prolongated like this. So, this is a example of myxodermina. Hyperthyroidism is a lack of excess secretion of thyroid hormone. So, deficiency of thyroid hormones leads these type of disease. When it secretes excess, it leads to the grave diseases and which leads the protrusions of eyeballs. I already told you, you can see the picture, and increase the metabolic rate, high body temperature, profuse swelling, loss of body weight and nervousness, which leads to the more secretion or excess secretion of thyroid gland. Parathyroid gland. It are a 4 small oval body situation in the posterior surface of thyroid lobe. You can able to see this is the parathyroid gland. You will have a small oval shape, 4 small oval bodies are there, isn't it? The chief cell of gland are mainly concerned with the secretion of the parathyroid. Function of parathyroid is regulates the calcium phosphorus metabolism in our body, which acts on bone, kidney, intestine to maintain the blood calcium level. So, calcium is very important to our bone to give us strength more. If calcium is less, the deficiency of the calcium leads to a bone weakness. Parathyroid dysfunction. The secretion of a parathyroid dysfunction, it's lead to the following conditions are. The first one is a muscle swamps known as tetany, that is concentrate of muscle in face, larynx, hand and feet. The third one is painful cramps in the lymph muscles and all. So, these two are the removal of parathyroid during the removal of thyroid, which causes decrease the secretion of parathyroid. These conditions takes place. Pancreas. Isolate of Langerhans. Pancreas is elongated yellowish gland situated in the loop of the stomach. It is exocrine and endocrine in nature. Exocrine pancreas secrete the pancreatic juice which plays a digestion. We already learnt this in 9th standard itself. We will have one hormone, juicy hormone, which secreted in our stomach, which is used for the digestion, while endocrine portion is made up of isolate of Langerhans. The isolate of Langerhans consists of two types of cells, alpha beta. Alpha secretes glucagon and beta secretes insulin. Human insulin, for first discovered by this man, is called as Frederick Banting and Charles Bitt and MacLeod in 1921. Insulin was first used to the treatment of diabetic on 11th January of 1922. Insulin. Just before I told you, insulin is a beta cell which secretes the insulin is called as a insulin. Insulin helps conversion of glucose into a glycogen which stores into a liver and skeleton muscles. It promotes the transport of glucose into the cell which decrease the concentration of the glucose in blood. So, insulin is used to decrease the concentration of the glucose in blood. If the insulin lacks, what will happen? Increase concentration of glucose in the blood which leads to the diabetics. Glucagon, it breaks down the glucagon to glucose into the liver. It increases the blood sugar level. It is a diabetic mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is a deficiency of insulin causes diabetes mellitus. Increase the blood sugar level, excess secretion of glucose in urine, frequent urination, that is polyuria, and increased thirst, that is polydipsia. Increase in appetite is polyphagia. Adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is located in the above side of kidney. You can able to see the picture. Adrenal gland, the kidney above part region is called as the adrenal gland. The outer part of adrenal cortex and inner part is the adrenal medulla. The two distinct parts are structurally, functionally or different. In adrenal cortex. In adrenal cortex consists of three layers, namely zona glominosa and zona fasciculata and zona reticularis. Hormones of adrenal cortex. The hormones secreted in the adrenal cortexes are glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. In functions of glucocorticoids, this regulates the cell metabolism. It stimulates the formation of glucose from the glycogen in liver. It is an anti-inflammatory and anti-allergic agent. The second one is mineralocorticoids. It helps to reabsorb the sodium ion from the renal tubules. It causes increased secretion of potassium ion and it regulates the electrolyte balance and body fluid volume in osmotic pressure and also blood pressure too. Corticosteroid hormone. It is also called as a saving hormone. This hormones of adrenal cortex maintain the body in living condition. Its recovery, it forms a severe effect in stress reaction. Thus, it decreases the output of corticosteroids in a life saving in any shock condition. This is called as a life saving hormone. In repeated question, they might ask you what is mean by a life saving hormone. It is called as a corticosteroid hormone is a life saving hormone. Adrenal medulla. It is a rich supply of a systematic and parasystematic nerves. The hormones of the two adrenal medulla is two hormones are there, epinephrine and norepinephrine. They are together is called as an emergency hormone. So it is produced during the condition of stress and emotion only these hormone will secrete, and it is called as flight, fright and fight hormone. What are the hormones? Flight, fright and fight hormone. So this is called as emergency hormones. And this adrenal hormone, what are the functions of this we are going to see now.
It promotes the conversion of glycogen to glucose, which increase the heartbeat and blood pressure. And it's also increase the rate of respiration in bronchi and trachea. It causes dilation in the pupil of eye. It decreases the blood flow through the skin. So these are the functions of adrenal medullary hormones. So now we are going to see the reproductive glands. In reproductive glands, the sex glands are two types. One is testis and ovary. In testis are present in male while ovaries are present in female. Testis. It is a reproductive gland of male. They are composed in semifibrous tubules, the Leydig cells and Cerulidolase cells. And these endocrine part of testes, they secrete the male sex hormone called testosterone. And what are the function of these testosterone is? It's the process of spermatogenesis and produce the synthesis and control the muscular growth. It also responsible for the development of secondary sexual characters like hair on the body, face, deep voice pattern or etc. are due to this testosterone hormone. Ovary. Ovaries are the female gonads located in the pelvic cavity of abdomen. They secrete a female sex organ like estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is produced by the Graafian follicis of the ovary and progesterone from the corpus luteum, which is formed in the ovary from the ruptured follicle during ovulation. We are going to see the function of estrogen. It brings the chance of to occurs a puberty. It initiates the process of oogenesis and maturation of ovarian follicles in the ovary, which also promotes development of secondary sexual character, that is breast development, high pitched voice, etc. Function of progesterone. It is responsible for the premenstrual changes for the uterus and uterus inflammation of the embryo, which also used in the maintenance of pregnancy and essential in formation of placenta. The last gland is thymus gland. Thymus is partly endocrine and partly lymphoid gland. It is situated upper part of the chest. A pink region I mark and gave you, that is a thymus gland. Thymosin is a hormone secreted by the thymus. The function of thymosin is a stimulatory effect on human function, which stimulates the protection and differentiation of lymphocytes. Thymus gland. We will have a front view of thymus gland and the structure of the thymus gland. You will have a cortex, medulla, capsules like that. This thymosin hormone is secreted by the thymus. And this gland is also used for the human function and differentiation of the lymphocytes. In this lesson we have an activity, so you can do it in your home. So place first you can take 2 or 3 unripe tomatoes which is in green in color. So you can put it in the brown color bag with ripe bananas and roll the top closed. You can take another bag, place to same 2 or 3 unripe tomatoes alone. Okay, roll with the top closed. Observe what happened with this tomatoes and why. The banana continues to ripen in the first bag. It produces a ethylene gas. So ethylene gas is another hormones which ripen the fruits. I told you tomatoes, banana, watermelon, mango, like that, isn't it? So the gas trapped in the bag will cause the tomatoes to also ripen in the first bag. But it is the second bag, there is no chance of ripening the tomatoes because there is no banana kept there. So in the first bag the bananas is
release the ethylene gas to ripe the tomatoes. In the second bag, there is no way of any banana, so tomato remain unripened in the second bag. So try this, children. From this, a lesson gets over. In this lesson, we seen about many hormones in the plants as well as in human. Thank you, children.